Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a philosophy with a suggestion that's so radical, it kind of turns everything on its head. In our nonstop search for answers, it says, stop looking. This is the core of Zen. So let's start with a question that probably feels really familiar. We are just bombarded with information, right? Self-help books, life hacks, experts all telling us how to live. But with all of that noise, where's the real answer? And this is where Zen's wild idea comes in. It suggests that our constant, frantic searching is the problem itself. What if the answer we're so desperate to find isn't out there somewhere? What if it's actually been right here, the whole time, just waiting for us to notice? To really get this, we first have to look at how this ancient idea even made its way to the West, and why it landed at just the perfect moment. It started pretty subtly. After World War II, there was this new fascination with Japanese art and culture. But the real game changer was a scholar named D.T. Suzuki. His writings, they made these deep, complex ideas feel absolutely electric, and they totally captivated a generation that was hungry for something new. And pretty soon, it wasn't just about books anymore. Zen masters started arriving in the US, and for the very first time, people in the West could experience the practice directly. So why did it hit so hard? Well, it turns out the West wasn't just a passive bystander. It was primed for this. After the collective trauma of war, there was this deep, deep search for meaning. Thinkers like the psychologist Carl Jung saw these incredible parallels to their own work on the human mind. Artists, they were drawn to its clean, minimalist vibe. But I think, most of all, people were just tired of theories. They wanted something real, a direct, personal experience. So what was this revolutionary idea they were all so excited about? Well, it all boils down to a really powerful metaphor for the mind. It all hinges on this one phrase. And notice how it's not a gentle suggestion. It's a direct, almost startling command. It's telling us to just bypass all the theory, all the books, and go straight to the source, our very own mind, our own true nature. And there's this beautiful metaphor that makes it all just click. Imagine your original mind is a perfect, shining mirror. But, life happens. It gets covered in the dust of our worries, our desires, our constant churning thoughts. Now, most traditions, they're going to offer you a better cloth, a better technique for polishing that mirror. But Zen does something completely different. It simply points past all the dust and says, look, the mirror is already perfect. It's right there, underneath. This is what they call seeing your nature. And the key here is that this seeing, it has absolutely nothing to do with your eyes. It's a sudden, direct, personal aha moment. You aren't gaining some new wisdom or becoming a better version of yourself. Nope. You are simply, finally, recognizing the brilliant, whole, complete nature that was yours from the very beginning. And if you're thinking, okay, that sounds great for monks and scholars, well, one of Zen's most important origin stories is about to completely shatter that idea. This gets at another core Zen idea: no reliance on words. It's this radical thought that the deepest truths, they can't actually be captured in scriptures or lectures. They have to be experienced. The story that brings this to life is about a man named Huineng, who would go on to become the 6th patriarch of Zen. Now get this, he wasn't a scholar, he wasn't a monk, he was an illiterate woodcutter selling firewood in the market. And one day, he just happens to overhear one single line from a Buddhist text, and in that instant, boom! He has this profound awakening that goes way beyond the understanding of monks who had studied the books for decades. His story just changed everything. It yanked enlightenment out of the monastery, out of the library, and put it right into the hands of every single person. It showed that it's not about what you've read or what you know. It's about your innate capacity to see your own nature. It's a potential you were literally born with. So, okay, if the answer isn't in books and it's not some big intellectual puzzle to solve, then where in the world do we find this path to awakening? And the answer brings us right back home. Your ordinary, everyday mind, that is the way. The path isn't over there somewhere, it's right here, smack in the middle of your life. And this is where it all comes together. The practice isn't some special thing you do on a meditation cushion for 20 minutes. The practice is your life. It's when you're hungry, you just eat. When you're tired, you just sleep. When you're walking, you just walk. Awakening is found in the simple yet profound act of being totally present with whatever it is you're doing. And so that leaves us with one final, pretty piercing question. Zen doesn't ask what you believe. It doesn't ask what you know. It asks something much, much more direct. If your everyday mind is the path, what are you paying attention to right now?